Hello YouTube, Aaron here doing a tutorial on how to clone your Brunch ChromeOS system. So you're going to need to download Brunch, you're going to need to install it. Then if you've got loads of customs and personal files that you want to clone or have a backup of your system to install later, then you can use my tool. So if we go to GitHub, I've been sitting here and tinkering, trying to get everything all working fine and the guide and everything else. I don't know if you can see me, this is me here sitting on the side. But basically, if you come to this GitHub repository, as you can see on the screen, there's a guide of how to clone your system and then how to install. So I currently have a install backup, a custom backup already made, so I'm going to delete that. We also don't need most of these files that are in here. This is just basically testing purposes, and well, it took me 6 months worth of research to get to here today. Everything works fine. I've done my testing. I actually have ChromeOS already set up and installed, but we're going to reinstall that. I've got the latest ChromeOS recovery for Zork, which is the AMD Ryzen variant. I've got the Brunch toolkit. It's not toolkit. I've got the Brunch. I get confused with all these different names for things that he's got in his repository. But I've got the Brunch framework here. Sorry for mixing the name. And what we do is install it. So I'm going to reinstall it. I'm going to then boot into ChromeOS. I'm going to make a few adjustments and add some customs into it. I'm then going to clone it, and then I'm going to reinstall it. So we will go with, so give me a second because the command is very troublesome. I'm going to go to my bash history. There is tons of commands in here from tests and things that I've done over the last couple of weeks. But the command that we are looking for hopefully should be in here, and we don't need this now. It's a very long-winded process just to install this. You need to have the right commands. So I'm going to go with this command here, and then we don't need this. Open this back up just so we know that the drives are being sorted. So then it's going to ask me for my password. It's going to say give me a drive. It's going to say yes because I've already selected a drive. Basically, it's going to install the Brunch framework and wipe all of my files that I've got currently installed. I just took a picture and put it on my GitHub repository to show some customs that have been installed. So I installed Western because some GUI applications don't seem to work. You are seeing basically half a screen. If I can just tilt that a little bit, it might make things a little bit better. Forgive me, I am using my phone. I don't have an expensive camera. I'm going to do it from home dev. I do it from home. I don't have a job. This is basically what I do for fun and what I class as a job for myself. It's more of a hobby than anything, although it does make passive income. So not a lot, but it is a form of passive income, and it does qualify me to be a software engineer. I haven't made many videos recently because I've just been at it, and there's a lot of things that I've created recently for all those people that like watching what I do and what's happening next. Is basically I've created this on top of Hyperland, and all of the features work. I mean, you can have music in here, so I'll put a file in here just to test, and the sound isn't too loud at the moment because I've turned everything down. There is a few things that need to be repaired with this, but we've got some sounds. Not too sure if this is the latest. No, I don't think this is the latest. So like from what I have posted on the internet, it's different compared to what this is. Which is fine. I mean, there's lots to do. I'm probably pretty sure the newest one is in here. So if I just transfer it over, if we go to the tools, the newest one's here. So if we just transfer that over to the op directory, because that's what I've got it currently set up as. This is not a tutorial on how to set up my desktop, but might as well do it whilst we're doing it. The name of it is wrong, but my newly set up way of installing this and how it works is completely different to how it used to work. So this is currently still the old way. But if we go over here and then we go here, we can see now we've got new sounds, and everything just works and works fine. So like if I open Dolphin and then close Dolphin, it takes me back here. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And I'll just go back to installing the drives. I've got a coffee beside me, even though I don't really like the coffee. £50,000 worth of ULEDs tickets. £50,000 worth of ULEDs tickets. Have I got anything on my profile I need to delete whilst I'm at it? Let's have a look. Not too sure. So I did. So that's installed. We've installed that now. So then we're going to reboot into the Chrome OS that's just been installed through the Brunch framework. I'm going to do it from home dev. I'm not scripted. I'm going to sit here and smoke and chuff and have my fun, you know. And I hope you enjoy watching this video, because it really did take me a while to get to where I am today, where I've actually got this tool made. And I wanted to compile it in Python on the Brunch system, but for some reason it's missing loads of glibc dependencies because the kernel's not set up in the normal Linux fashion. So I guess maybe trying to compile custom kernel onto this would be nice, or compiling it from source, since I already compile many things from source, including the KDE desktop. I've done that many of times. In fact, I was testing the KDE desktop before it even come out on Qt, well, the Qt6 variant, and I was compiling it on Arch, and everything was still Qt5. Most of the modules and well, not modules, most of the components to the Plasma 6 desktop as it would be today when they were building it was still Qt6, so they were still changing various things. And that's why my desktop didn't come out on Qt6 for many months, because many widgets on Qt5 were not on Qt. Many of my widgets that I used to use on Qt5 were not in Qt6. And then finally everything that I normally use on my custom themed KDE was released as widgets, and I was able to build my desktop from scratch again. I of course primarily now use Hyperland, but I don't mind switching back and forth from KDE. So we go here. Of course you're not going to see my password. Oh no, that's the wrong password. It's not going to connect, sorry. If we forget it, go here. Now the process for this all will take around about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on your system's components. I have an AMD Ryzen 3200G, which is an APU 4-core at 3.9 gigahertz, I believe. I'm pretty sure you can overclock it, which is what I used to do when I had this processor in the past. But being that it's an APU, I just want to be really careful with it. I did buy it second hand, the whole PC as a setup. So I just want to make sure that, you know, I basically prolong the lifespan of this PC, being that I basically bought it second hand. And well, the PCs are cheap really, but they're not cheap because I don't work. I don't make a lot of money, so I've got to pay gratitude to the things that I do have in life and respect them. So I'm doing my best. Anyway, no, I don't want to sync anything, and you can use my Google password. You get more information out of me to put online. Yeah, he likes this password. I'll go with a light theme because I'm not really a dark theme lover. And I think Well, this is obviously ChromeOS, so we've got the Google Play Store, wherever it is. Where is it? No, because it does pop up to say that it wants to install the Google Play Store. So where is that? Yeah, here we go. We've got the Google Play Store. This is why I tend to like ChromeOS over ChromeOS, is because you can get the Google Play Store applications. But I'm going to go here and I'm going to change it so that when I'm installing these components, we've got this sleep. If you just type in sleep, we can change this to keep this on. And we're going to go on to the Chromebrew website. Got it. And we'll go Chromebrew. Oh, actually, no, sorry. I've got the command for Chromebrew here. So I took a picture of it. And what we do is we go to the terminal. And then we just type this command in. So Chronos. And then we do bash. And this is obviously going to take a hot minute to install, people, so please bear with me. But I do want to install some customs just while we're at it. So lgit.io. I failed to say as well, you're going to need a Linux system to clone your system. So get yourself a Linux ISO. You can 100% clone your system from a Linux ISO. You don't even need to install it. You just boot the ISO, use my files to clone the system to a separate drive, and it'll all work fine as long as you've got enough space. Forgive me for a second, I've got no keys. My keyboard's spring through the walls. If you can see, I'm already missing the key that I need. And where are we? So we want this symbol here, slash is it, dot bash rc. That might be wrong, I do believe that is wrong. So we exit. And where did I go wrong? I removed this symbol here. Yeah, so that is wrong. Here we go. So we're going to install this. It's going to take around about maybe 5-10 minutes. Sorry people, I just generally want to get all of this installed and install some customs. So whilst that's doing that, I'm going to go into the download directory, which really doesn't make any sense because I am installing the Chromebrew. But if we go for a new folder, I don't know, test 2025 as cloner, I put that there. Are we able to make any text documents? I'm pretty sure there is a text document thing here. So if we go onto my Google Drive, I've got loads of stuff. So test Claude mods Chrome. I'm calling it the ChromeOS cloner. It doesn't matter. It's based off of Chrome in it. Claude mods ChromeOS cloner version 1.0 2025 baby, with a few exclamation marks just to be a bit cheesy. And then what we can do is I'm pretty sure we can download that one way or another. How do we do that? We go back to, I'm not too sure how to use this because I've not really used it, and I don't understand how to use this. I don't even know how to open a text document on here. Maybe because everything works online, right? And I am new to like the ChromeOS thing. I normally clone my system on Arch and Debian and Ubuntu. If you don't know, for me, obviously, I've got many cloning applications. Anyway, so we go to, I don't know, we're going to save that as save that as that. Go back, and I think we just download it. Are we able to download it? Open in tab, available offline. So then what that does is downloads it, right? Is it downloading it? That's a bit stupid. It's just clicked available offline. How can I make it? How can I download it then? We've got to go back to the Google Drive, obviously, to then download it, because making it available offline doesn't necessarily download it, which doesn't make any sense. Where are we with this? Let's have a look. So we are downloading stuff. We're not just wasting time. Where are we? We're going to make it available offline somehow. You've got to be online to even use the thing. So it's going to download it as that. That's just stupid. Why are you going to save it as a format that I'm not going to be able to read? So we've got to open it again. And then, I don't know, save it as a text document. Does that work? Okay. Well, that's not available offline anymore now. I just edited a file that was set up to be available offline. And for some reason it's now not available well, it is. Oh. How the hell does this work? So now it's downloading it as a... We don't want it as a docs. You're going to read it. Oh my... This is just mental. So you're going to save it as a document that it's not able to read. This is just mental. So what? How do we do it? Download as a plain... Anymore? Oh my... Hey? 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 What? What? Because Google Docs supports this type of file, but then if we download it as a text file, wrong file. This is just mesmerizing. Here we go. Yes. So we want to delete this. We've got a new file, we're going to call it 2025 baby, and that's going to be in the downloads thing, and then we've got a folder that's there as well. We'll also go to the settings. What should we do? I don't know, we could download something from the Play Store, wherever I put that. Where is it? So the Google Play Store. Say if I get Facebook for the fun of it, I'm a big Facebook user. Go to search and we just install Facebook. Type it in. And we go and install Facebook on ChromeOS on my PC. No, we don't need the browser. We'll go to the settings and we'll change the background because I'm not really a big fan of this background. I do like this one though. So if we go to landscapes, it's normally here. I do believe, yeah, this one here. I do like this background. I don't know what it is, but this background just rings alarm bells. So we've got Facebook installed, and we can. I don't care if it's made for mobile. We're on similar operating system. Facebook's installed. We've changed the background to the desktop. We've also got Chrome Brew installing. Got any messages? And 10 years later, I will be cloning our system, people. So I want to talk about some additional features I'm going to be added. So I might add the Rico mod as an option. I don't know if you know what Rico mod is. You can have a look at that online what it is. I think we'll do that as we... so if we go Rico mod, I've actually forked the project onto my own repository. But basically this hasn't actually got a picture. So... Rec mod, sorry, not Rico mod. Well, that helps, doesn't it? But basically, it's kind of like a tool that allows you to do certain things within the Arch recovery image. Oh, here's an image. So we've got an image of it. It basically allows you to do these various things. And like I said, I've already forked it onto my GitHub repository. So if I go into my repository, it's something that I've added. And it's something I want to integrate into my install script. I initially made this for a friend who asked me to do it, so I've forked the project and I've put it into my repository for future use. To integrate it into my install script as an option, so you can edit the recovery image. Well, I know I'm going to add it as a custom script. So I'm going to add a custom script that basically allows you to integrate this into the recovery somehow. Not too sure how that's going to work. But also, I may implement a feature to put your drives in a SquashFS and squash them up, because of course the files are going to be around about 20 to 25 GB. And that is down to the fact that the H state stateful partition, is it stateful partition? Yes, it is around about 17 GB, and then we've got two other partitions that are 4 GB each. We've got one other partition that's 1 GB, and then I'm pretty sure there's a 500 megabyte partition, and there's two 64 megabyte partitions, but they all get cloned. So there's 12 drives altogether that get cloned with my tool. And the plan maybe is to put all of them into a compressed SquashFS. Now, I compressed the Brunch tool, the Brunch framework into a SquashFS. So the Brunch framework is 4.5 GB, is it? Or is it 5.6? Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I managed to SquashFS the whole root C, recovery, and everything else needed from the Brunch framework into a SquashFS that is 2.5, is it 2.5 GB? And I also have plans to make a DwarfFS, because I have a DwarfFS script that basically allows you to create DwarfFS files. So that will basically make it even smaller than 2.6. And we'll be looking at around about maybe 2 GB. I'd say maybe 1.9. But the lowest would possibly be 1.9. I don't see it being any smaller than that. I'll obviously have to do my tests. But of course I want to do some tests by putting all of these images that get created when you're cloning into a SquashFS and see if it will install this way. So it'll be like a optional method to compress your system, which will be, so obviously one file was 17 GB, then we've got the rest. So you're looking at about 35 GBs worth of stuff compressed, and it will be around about 7 to 8 GB in a SquashFS. Possibly 9 GB. Possibly, yeah, I'd say minimal 9, and at the maximum 12 GB as a SquashFS. And that's because obviously I have my own clone. I have my own system cloner for Linux, and my systems, when they're around about 20 GB, turn into around about 7 GB ISO. So I've done many tests, and this is how I know my information. Anyway, I don't know how long this is going to take, people. I'm sorry, I shouldn't really have done this, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to install the forum browser. What else? I don't know why the Brunch framework, the Chrome Brew repos have got SquashFS. I don't know what you're going to be using with the SquashFS package. because I originally actually tried to clone the system with my scripts from ChromeOS, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't want to work. Doesn't matter what you do, it don't work. So you have to do it from a Linux system. Anyway, we've got Chrome Brew installed. So if we put crew install, we install Western, then we install Thorium. We could also, I don't think Opera works because it didn't work last time. And we just put yes. I think I might install crew sudo as well, just for the fun of it. Well, of course, after I've done the cloning, that's when I'm going to get to looking at the rec mod, and also going to look at the SquashFS option whilst I'm doing that. So I can obviously create the SquashFS whilst I'm editing some code. It's going to be some fun. And then obviously I will test the installation method. If anybody knows how to get the sound to work on ChromeOS Gunbox Edition, please let me know. I've got a Realtek sound card in there. I know what model it is, but I couldn't really tell you off by hand. You can type a certain command in the console to find out it. I was doing it earlier. But I'm having some issues with my sound on here. It's stopping me from wanting to use it as a daily driver, as well as the fact that obviously, you know, certain things I can't do on here. So it's like, it's a very big bottleneck. You know, the last thing I want to do is be using a system I've got no sound, because I'm going to be wanting to listen to music whilst I'm at it, should I say, you know, making things. What is going on? 5%. Oh, come on, hurry up. Anytime today, Junior. David's installed. But if you can help me with my ChromeOS sound, because I'm not too savvy, should I say, with ChromeOS. Apart from the fact, obviously, I'm very good at cloning systems, and I know how to use certain tools to do certain things. And I know how to sit there and basically pull my hair out, trying to find out things. So it pays off at the end of the day, but you don't know how long it's going to take and when the end of the day is, because it could be tomorrow, it could be the end of the day tomorrow, or the end of the day the next day. You don't know what day it's going to be finished. If you've got enough hair to pull out, I guess it doesn't matter. Not that I'm actually pulling my hair out, but like, it's very similar. Oh, recommendations for vape fluid. I don't know what it is at the moment, but this I'm on triple mango at the moment, mixed with blackcurrant, and it's a very good mix. I mean, obviously mixing flavours is basically just wasting, but I was at the end of it really. I was pretty much where I'm pretty much a bit lower than that, about there, and I just topped it up. But I'm using nasty fluid. I don't know if people know what nasty is, but basically I'm using nasty fluid. I've got a few of them, wherever they may be, I don't know. Somewhere. Dear. Ooh. I don't know how much you've seen now. There's a bong on the table for those. Oh, I do need to tidy up a little bit. Oh, so yeah, my fluid's on the floor. We've got another one here. It's like pineapple lemonade, is it? Right now, what's needed is some proper, nice, copyrighted music. But I'm not doing that because I actually can't actually play any music off here. We could even test it. You know, it's just so basically, come off of this. My sound is on, as you see. You go here, it says HDMI. But if we go on YouTube and we play one of my videos of my ugly face, let's see if I come on here. Yeah, nice. We'll go for my ugly face. I think that's the best way to prove a point. Some old GTA mods. And the browser obviously isn't... Wait. Oh no, we're on YouTube. Sorry, I thought it was in the browser. But basically, obviously, there's no sound coming out of anything. And even with a aux cable, I'm not getting anywhere. So I really don't know what to do. I've tried installing Pipewire, Western protocols, Wayland protocols. I've also tried to install Alsa utils, XDG Plasma something package. I don't know what the hell that was for, but there's many packages that I did try that are based around audio. And it just doesn't want to work. But yeah, I'm missing 2 fluids now. I don't know where they are, but let's do a little bit tidy up and find out. Come on, Junior. Come on, Junior. Today, Junior. I was having a conversation with Gemini earlier, and Gemini's got loads of information from the New York Times in its sources. So it doesn't look online for information. It's got information that it's stored. And I asked it for a New York's article based on the subway system, and it told me the full article, but it couldn't tell me it in full. It could only tell me it in paragraphs. But it managed to tell me the full article. And well, it just goes to show that they are storing copyrighted information. It also asked for some information to do with ChromeOS, and it seems to think that ChromeOS is a very small system. It seems there's not much needed to run the ChromeOS system. It's the biggest system known to man right now. It's bigger than Windows, pretty much. In fact, I'd say it's pretty much the same size as Windows. Once Windows requirements is around about 30 to 50 GB. I might be wrong. I am a Windows user, by the way. That's where I started. But it's getting bigger, obviously, through time, because the ISOs were 4 GB and they've worked up to 7 GB now for the Windows 11. And that's obviously because they're supporting more and more drivers out the box. There's drivers now installed in the ISO. But for them to say that it's a relatively small custom Linux system is a lie, because the system itself is around 30 GB. It's an absolute joke. And to think that, half the things that, I need it for basically don't work, which is probably why I'm not going to be daily driving it, other than the fact that, you can use the Google Play Store to install Google Play apps, which I enjoy, because it means that I don't have to tinker with Linux to do it. I'm not a big fan of Waydroid, being that Waydroid is basically a custom ROM. No, uses basically custom ROMs, and with that means that you can't use the Google Play Store. And there was a way that I managed to get around that, and for some reason the second time I tried to do it, I just couldn't do it. So I gave up on the whole Waydroid custom ROM idea. It's just not useful. There's no point using it. And I went into the Waydroid chat and I said, well, you lot should have focused on this when you lot built the project, because all of us are going to want to use the Google Play Store. We're going to want to use the Google Play Store. Why else would you use it? If you're downloading custom applications from different websites, then that imposes a security risk. So, you know, unless you don't mind having your data, you don't taken off of your machine and uploaded to other people's servers and whatnot, you know, I guess, you know, you're gonna want to obviously use the Google Play Store. No, I don't want to use it as a default browser. I don't mind, you know. I don't really mind. I know certain sites that I do trust, but at the end of the day, the last thing I want to be doing is sitting there tinkering, trying to figure out how the hell to do certain things. So we'll just make sure that this works. I know it works anyway. We go to Western. Oh, we're in Western. Bloody hell. And if we type in Thorium, then we've got Thorium. Wow. Anyway, so now we're going to reboot into my Arch Linux system. I will be providing scripts and a GUI application for Debian and Ubuntu systems, so that you can basically do the same job. But I'm a primarily Arch user. I like the latest and greatest packages, and with the latest and greatest packages such as Qt6, you get better performance because you've got the bug fixes and you've got newer features. Whereas if you sit on an older package from Qt6 or GTK, the performance levels will not be the same. So this is why I'm always on Arch. Now, of course, people say, oh yeah, but yeah, Arch is a rolling release distribution, it always breaks. That is a lie. That is a lie. Arch only breaks 2 to 3 times a year, and it only has ever broke 2 to 3 times a year since I've used it. This year alone, it hasn't broke. It's the Calamaris installer that's broken, and I don't use Calamaris. Calamaris don't even work on this. You have to preserve. So this is how you get gparted to open, yeah? So you're going to want to obviously know what drive your ChromeOS is installed. So say if I'm on Hyperland, what we do is we sudo -- preserve -env, and then we type in gparted. This is how we open gparted on Hyperland. And we open gparted. Now we know that the system for ChromeOS is installed on this drive because we've got our 12 different partitions. So we know this drive is SDA. We don't need to put one. We just need to know that it's SDA. So now that we know this, then we're going to come here, and we're of course got everything we need already. So you're obviously going to want to have the Brunch framework downloaded. You're going to want to have my script downloaded, and then obviously this is the cloner that clones the system. So we've got the install and we've got the cloner. Yeah. Now it's going to take around about 30 minutes to clone, and then it takes around about 20 minutes to install. So what we do is we run the specific commands to clone the system. Sudo, and then we just do Python. No. What we do for testing purposes, we will go on here and just so that you know the files that are online are the right files, and obviously the ones that I've got which are uncompiled work. So what we do, I know this this works because of course I've done it. So if we're going to git clone the ChromeOS cloner, we've got all the files. We only need this one here because everything else is already in here. No, what we'll do is we'll do this. So we've got these files here that are needed, and we just cut that and we put all these files in here. So then we change directory into the ChromeOS cloner. Now, obviously, I'm doing this from home, so yeah, we're going to clone the system. Okay, so what we do is sudo /, and there is a guide. The guide for the steps are all on my GitHub repository, or you can just read this text document after you basically git clone the project. But we're gonna /, this file here. We need the file name. Paste it. It's gonna ask you for your password. Command not found because sorry, I'm working so fast right now. The command's not going to work until you set this as executable. Set as executable. You need to know your drive, so that's why we went on to gparted first. I know mine is SDA. It's going to ask you for that. We want a location to store the files, so we're going to use this location here in the same directory that we're at. So we're going to take this location, we're going to put it there, and then we're going to clone every single drive known to man for the ChromeOS system. And this is going to take around about, well, I did say originally 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. So just give me a minute, people. Alright, well, I had some sort of an issue. I've had to re-upload my stuff. I had to test my my stuff. So if I'm going to go back and start the cloning process. It actually doesn't take long at all. I know I said that it takes a while, but it really doesn't. It takes like 5 seconds, and well, it's kind of mesmerizing. But basically, I need to chmod this, yeah, and then let's go. So the file is here. I've re-uploaded it online. I've done some more tests. It works perfectly fine. I've actually added some more things to it. So you want this location here. And I'll kid you not, this doesn't take long at all, so we'll just do this. There we go. I've changed some functions now, so we've got like, it tells you that it's cloning drive 2 and it's finished, and it says it's cloning drive 3 and it finishes, and everything just basically works the way it should work now, because there was a problem with something about it cancelling halfway through or something, and then when I tried to edit the code, it couldn't check the drives and find the drive, so I just thought I'd fix that quickly. And that took me the best part of maybe 10 minutes. But this is the problem. DeepSeek is what I use. I actually use DeepSeek, and well, it's been an absolute pain. Anyway, it doesn't take long, as you can see. This is pretty much it now. We're cloning it. So this will take the best part of not long at all. As you see, we're basically finished. All drives cloned and finished. Now, we've got the install script, so we're going to do this. We need to sudo, well, we don't need that location, sudo python /chrome, oh no, we don't need to do that, ChromeOS installer. Well, this has been tested 1,000 times, so I know that this one works. I won't be pausing the video anytime soon. Anyway, so we've got this here, got it in green, nice little green. It's going to ask you for the recovery, which is what you downloaded. You just need to put the name of it in here. Yep. And then it's going to basically install the Brunch framework, because that's how you set up the drives. Because I couldn't get it to set up the drives without using Brunch framework. I did actually sit there for a few hours to do that and try and make my own scripts, and it just didn't want to work. So the only way you can do it is through this for now, because I can't find another way to do it. Setting up the drives as ext4, ext2 and stuff like that. As soon as I tried to copy the images, it would say that the drives are full of data. So this is what we do. We install the ChromeOS through the framework, Brunch framework, and then what you do is you just copy over the other files, and it basically overwrite all of them files that are on that drive to the new set of files. And well, this takes around about 25 minutes. So I'm not going to pause the video. I'm just going to leave it at it, so you can basically see what it's doing. This script actually does need to be updated, so we've got some stupid phony message that says, oh, the Chrome OS is installed straight after this, which is a bit pants. Probably down to the Chrome OS install script, the .shush. Well, I could edit the script and add my own script based on that. I mean, I might potentially be adding that script back to my repository that I did remove earlier, due to the fact that I'm going to add my own customs to it. Or no, to be honest, no, to be fair, I'll be making my own custom script because the rec mod is obviously something that you put in the recovery image itself, so the .bin. So I've got to work out how to implement that functionality. Well, at least I don't have to sit there with a bot coding something that won't work. So basically, I tried to make my my .bin file in C++, and then when because I originally made a Python script, I transferred that to C++, and it was giving me main function errors. So then I thought, oh, I'll convert it into Bash, and I converted it into Bash, and then I tried to convert it back into C++, and it just didn't want to work. So the only way to do that would be to get the commands that are being used in plain Bash instead of writing all of this dumb stuff like add the ANSI that's at the top over here, and all the different colors. And basically just say, oh, I want these commands in a C++ script, and it will work that way. And then you add the different things like the ANSI and this, that, and the other. And I just thought, well, the projects took so long as it is, I haven't got the energy for it. Maybe a few coffees deep, I might potentially do that later on. But for now, you know, the functionality is basically written in Python. All of my scripts are written in Python at the moment. Which is what I originally wanted to do, because I was going to compile it on ChromeOS, but you can't compile anything on ChromeOS. The kernel is not actually a normal Linux kernel, so it's missing certain things that would normally be used. Anyway, here we go. This is what I need to change into green, and of course remove this dumb message here. And this is where it's going to take around about 20 minutes. Now, I've tested this script thousands of times now, so I know that this script works. Obviously, I did make some changes to the cloner itself just before I uploaded. And it was working my side, but for some reason I was getting some sort of a problem when I went back to it. So obviously I've added some new functions to it. It works fine now, so it's all good. Anyway, we're going to install this. We're going to reboot into ChromeOS. We're going to find my favourite files. We're going to boot up Thorium and probably call it a day, because it's been about an hour nearly. And I didn't really want to take this long, but I had some sort of problems. Well, that's the joys to using bots. You know, DeepSeek is the best bot. I've been using it since July 2024. That was when DeepSeek was version 2, and then the version 2 version 2 coder come out, and then DeepSeek v3 come out, which is the coder and DeepSeek v2 together with extras. And well, he's only recently just come up with some sort of parallel system thing, so he can have many of his bots on one partition. If we actually look, well, we'll let this do its business. Obviously I'm on Hydrogen, so we can just do this. Well, I'm always looking at the DeepSeek GitHub repository. So if we go GitHub DeepSeek, and you can basically see what he's done. He's added a new, I don't know, yeah, what's it called? Awesome DeepSeek integration isn't what we will. You've got 25 repositories. See if we can find it. Is it VL2? Small Pond, a lightweight data processing framework built for this. No, it ain't. Dual pipe, a bidirectional pipeline parallelism algorithm for computer communication overlapping V3 and R1 training. Also, he's got that as well now. So that would high performance distributed file systems designed to address the challenges for AI interface workloads. So I don't actually know what the name of this repository that is just made recently is called. I did say parallel, right? So parallel, if we go back to that, lightweight data processing framework here. So the dual, it must be dual pipe. So basically he's done this so it makes it easier to train the bots in parallel on one system, if I'm correct. I might be wrong, but this, I see this and I thought this is pretty cool. He's obviously trying to move forward. I don't know if any of you know how the DeepSeek cycle works, but basically what he does is he creates a bot. So say like R1 is R1 and DeepSeek is DeepSeek. R1 is R1 and DeepSeek 3 is DeepSeek 3 V3. Sorry. He implements them bots all in as one, which is basically what ChatGPT is trying to do. They're trying to make one bot with all functions in one. No, well, we'll see what happens, because I believe that DeepSeek V4 will be all bots in one. So like he's got the R1, he's got the DeepSeek V3, he's got the Coda, and whatever else he may make to benefit, you know, people for the individual use cases. So we are currently cloning drive 1, which will be H state. I'm not too sure why that is called H state. Why is that called state and not H state? It should work anyway. I've tested it enough times. Once this is basically done, you're looking at around about 5 minutes. And I'll say 20 minutes depending on your hard drive and everything else that you're using. Obviously, that has to come into play. I've actually got 2 other PCs over there that I could possibly connect to this through an RDP or vice versa. Might be looking at integrating some sort of Proxmox system onto one of them, so I can obviously install systems onto a... I'm not too sure how Proxmox works completely, but from my understanding you can have an online server system that allows you to basically have virtual machines on a network, so you can run tons of virtual machines. Now my machine isn't too good to be running thousands of virtual machines in one, although I don't know who would be doing that, but to even run more than one, I don't think it would work. So I'll probably just stick to the one virtual machine that I can obviously just continuously just overwrite with my newer updates, because I do provide my own ISOs and custom themes and whatnot. So this procedure for cloning the system, it does say that this drive is 100 and something GB, but the actual clone itself is only going to clone whatever's on the drive. The extra space is not cloned, but as you see, it does show what the drive space was originally, which is how it has to be. But itself, the data on this is only what's being used on the drive. Otherwise, you'd be cloning 160 GB worth of drive. Well, you'll be cloning whatever size that drive was set up as. So if you've got a 200 GB hard drive, that you're going to be cloning 200 GB worth of space when there's empty blocks and empty data on there, basically. So obviously the way that it clones it, it only clones the data that's on there, and the empty blocks are not copied. So yeah. Well, I just uploaded the new .bin for people. Of course, I did download the files originally, but obviously I was having some sort of an issue. And like it says here, I've just uploaded it 14 minutes ago. I just basically had an issue. "10 years later, it would be finished, people. Don't take my word for it. I'm not professional. I'm learning. With time, expertise, knowledge, deep seek, and searching, I guess you could pretty much accomplish most things in life. I've been speaking to a friend who's talking about AI, implementing AI models into like a distribution. So like you've got a custom AI bot in the distribution. But the problem there is I'm using Hyperlink for the main reason that Hyperlink only uses 900 megabytes of your RAM when you first start up. So you'll be running on idle at 900 megabytes. You go for anything else, that goes up. And on KDE is 1.7 to 1.9 GB. In fact, of course, on idle it could vary, but as a base, 1.7 is the lowest that you will get, and that's sufficient amount of RAM usage. That is, especially for people that are going to be sitting there, on old systems that haven't got much, especially laptops. This is why I don't consider laptops as a daily driver for myself. You can easily burn your laptop out like no tomorrow. You can spend £300 on a laptop and do the wrong thing, and the whole CPU's gone. And then all that £300 could have been spent on a PC, and you spend £100 and you get the same components depending on what you've bought. And if something breaks, then you just go buy a new CPU. Whereas on that laptop, well, if the CPU breaks, which would be the main cause of what breaks on that laptop, because you've overdone the RAM usage or you've burnt out the graphics on it, you can't do nothing with it. It's scrap metal. So you might as well just go buy a tower. Yeah, they can be quite hefty, heavy, take a lot of space. Very technical in terms of building things if you don't know how to do that. But in the long run, it's going to last. And if it does break, you can literally go buy this. You can go buy parts for half the price of what you pay for a laptop. But that's up to you, whether you want something that's going to break on you after you've done something, or you know how to use your laptop, then fair enough. But 9 times out of 10, if you're doing the sort of work that I'm doing, you've got the potential of breaking it. I've got the potential of breaking this, There's always a potential. And the thing is, I can't have that potential on a laptop. I've got a few laptops as it is right here behind me. I've got more laptops than I've got machines here, and they every single one of them, either I've broke them by mistake or I've basically unintentionally broke it, by mistake. So it's just a matter of what is your use case. Do you know what you're doing when you're using your system? Are you editing files? Are you cloning your system? Are you making applications 24/7? I mean, really and truly, use a virtual machine to do most things like that, and you'll be safe. But that's where things go wrong. You set up your virtual machine wrong on that laptop, and that's how you'll burn out your graphics driver, like I did. And that's why I only use towers. I only use towers. I can't use laptops. Because if I spend £300 on a laptop and I burn it out, but I'm not going to spend £300 on a laptop either to get the best laptop, when I could spend £100 get the same components. And then I could spend another £100 a month later and make the components even better. And then I'll spend another £100. I'm not spending hundreds of pounds on my computers. I'm just trying to keep on something stable that will keep me running. So my computer really isn't that powerful. As we go on here, my custom Linux that I've made. If we go on here, it's a bit stupid, that sound. I'm thinking of deleting it. If we go on here, this is what I've got. It's a basic system. It's one of the best basic systems for Arch. It keep you running all day long. I've got laptops that will not run Arch. I had towers in the past that wouldn't run Arch. You know, Arch is a very, very resourceful distribution. Of course, you need to kind of be on the bleeding edge to be running it. You need to be on the bleeding edge to get the performance. If you want performance, you want to be able to do things. So my old PC was a 12 core 24 thread CPU. It might be wrong actually. I might be wrong. I think it was an 8 core 16 thread or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was a AMD 2700X, and I was just about to get a 2800X. But then it reckons to go for an AMD Ryzen 3500, which is basically better. It's newer, and the same price, second hand. Yeah, well, it's around about the same price they go for. But that could basically run 3 virtual machines at the same time. So we've cloned. We've cloned. We've installed. Time to reboot. This should be fun. That is run with the sync command, so everything is basically done. I'm going to run into now ChromeOS. Hopefully with no issues. Welcome to my world. What to do? Someone's trying to set up Linux. I'm in loads of forums on Facebook to help people, and there's a person on the Arch Linux forum on Facebook, and he's asking for help. What to do next? How to set up Arch? It's a pretty crazy question. He's stuck. Okay, as you can see, I've now logged in, and I'm just going to show you my customs. So welcome to recap. No thanks. We're going to go to the downloads. 2025. Yes. We've got our empty folder. If we go here, we've also got Western. Oh wait, give it a minute. We've also got Western. And then if we go on Western and we type in Thorium, if I can spell it right. Oops. We've got the Thorium browser. But like I said, if you could help me with the sound, that would be much appreciated. I really don't know how to fix the sound on my components with this. And that's it for today, people. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I'm really sorry it took this long. I had a few difficulties myself. Okay, yeah, I've babbled on a little bit. I just thought I'd have a little, try and spread some information to people to make it easier for people, to understand various other things around this subject and what I do. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you've had a good night or day, whatever time when you watch this video. And it's a bye from me, Aaron, or Claude Mods, which is my online name.